my name is Kristin Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make this birthday card. We're going to use the Beautiful Friendship stamp set, and this is in the annual catalog. It's a really pretty set, really pretty floral set, and we're going to use the Stamparatus to layer up the flowers, so I'll show you how to do that. So to get started, we're going to have a piece of Whisper White, and this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to take my Stamparatus, and because these are photopolymer stamps, I have the foam mat down, and then I do have a piece of the grid paper that's made just for the Stamparatus. And then, whoops, one of my magnets is missing. There it is. Okay. All right, these magnets will stick to anything that's that can be magnetized. Okay, so I'm going to put my paper, I make a little mark. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I do it so just in case my paper shifts on me, even with the magnets, then I know where to put it back. So this is the other magnet. And I'm just going to put these at the top and the bottom. And we're going to start with the biggest flower. That's this one. And I'm just going to start with it right in the middle of the card. Let's see, we're going to bring this down just a little bit, and then we're going to put our plate on and pick that right up, and then I'll press it a little more. I wonder if you can see on both sides. Maybe if I move it that way you can see, and you can see it did leave a little bit of a mark. I must not have cleaned it off completely, but that's okay because we're going to go right back over it. So I'm going to start with the petal pink, and I'm just going to ink up. Let me just put, I don't like the plate to bend too much, so I'm just going to put the stamp pad just to hold it up a little bit. I'm going to ink it up with the petal pink, and then I'm going to come over and give it a good press. And then you can see I didn't press well enough there, so I'm just going to bring it back. And then I wanted the depth a little deeper, so I'm just going to come in, ink it up again, and then give it another good press. And then I'm going to come in with Rococo Rose because I want to make the centers a little deeper. So I'm going to take my ink pad, and I'm just going to use a sponge dauber, get some on there, and then I want to make sure you can see this part. I'm just going to daub onto the stamp where I want the Rococo Rose. And then I'm going to come across again and just press there. And you can see that gave it some more depth in those areas. And I'm just going to come in and do it one more time. And you could obviously do whatever areas you wanted done on your project. Alrighty, so that looks good. So I'm just gonna clean it off quick with my chamois. And then we're gonna come in with the next flower. I'm just making sure it's all, just going to press it to make sure it's dried. Okay, so then we're going to come in, just want to make sure you can see all the way over, and I'm just going to place this where I want it to stamp, pick it up with the plate, and then let's not get confused which color. I colored the wrong one a lot, so I have to start over, so I want to make sure I don't today. So this is going to be the petal pink again, the lighter one. And we're just going to press it, and we're going to do it one more time. So the Stamparatus allows you to press exactly, to stamp in the same exact spot you stamped it the last time. So I'm going to clean it off with my chamois again, just so I can move it. And then I'm going to come down here to this corner. Make sure I have enough room here where I want it. And then again, we're gonna, there's a fuzzy on it. I just want to make sure that doesn't get on the project. Okay, we're gonna pick it up with the plate again, petal pink, ink it up, and we're just going to do this twice again. Now, if you wanted to make those centers Rococo Rose, you could certainly come back in with the dauber again, but I'm going to make the buds Rococo Rose, so I'm going to just leave these petal pink. All right, and if you get any ink on your magnets, you want to make sure you take that off so it doesn't transfer to your project. And then we're going to take that one off, and we're going to come in with the buds. So this one I'm going to place, let's see, about right here is good for that. And let me just close the petal pink so I don't get confused. All right, so we're going to pull that up, make sure it moved a little, so I just want to make sure, there we go. Come in with our Rococo Rose, we're going to ink that up. Give it a press. And you can see there is ink on the plate from the ink pad right here, but you're not pressing it. The stamp is on there, so it's not going to get on your project, but it can get on your magnets because those are raised, so that's why I said be careful the other time. And we really only need to do that one once. It's dark enough since we're not daubing it on. So I'm just going to clean it off, and then I'm going to place it in the other corner here. That looks good. We'll pick it up. Whoops, didn't press hard enough. And we'll pick that up. Ink it up. Let me just take that off before I press, because it is going to get in the magnet. There we go. The chamois is really nice to use with the Stamparatus because you can see how easily I can just clean up some ink that goes where you don't want it to go. So that's good for that one. So now I want to come in and do the leaves. So let me just grab these leaves. And the leaves, I'm going to do both leaves at the same time. I always keep my stamps on a block when I'm not using them with the Stamparatus, otherwise I tend to lose the stamp. So I'm just going to shift the magnets over. Make sure they're still going to hold it well. And then I'm just going to come in and place my leaves where I want them. These really stick, so you gotta push it back. Let me just close the Rococo Rose. And this time we're going to come in with soft seafoam. Ink that up. I got some on the magnet again, but that's okay. And I do want to do these twice, just so the color's a little bit deeper. All right, and then we're going to do the magnet switch again, but I do want to just wipe that. I do have some color on there. Okay, so I'm going to move the magnet over here, and this one will move up here. And you want to make sure that you don't let your magnets get too close together, because if they, clamp together really tightly, they can crack. It did happen to me, so you just want to make sure they're not getting too close together. And also, they're very hard to take apart. If they're too close, if they clamp together. Okay, so let's see. We're going to place these. That looks good right there. And come pick those up. And if it does lift a little, you just want to press it down back into place. There we go. All right, so we're going to ink that. And we're going to ink it up one more time. There we go. Okay, so now I just need some more leaves at the top, just a little bit. So I'm going to move my magnets a little bit over here and here. They do just slide once they're on, so that's nice. And then let's see, we'll come in over here with the triple leaf. and right here with the double. Pick those up. And we're just repeating this process one more time. You can see I missed the tip of that leaf a little bit. We'll get it this time. I'm just going to do the tip of that one leaf one more time because I did miss it the first time I went in. There we go. All right. So now let me just clean this off so I don't get ink on my project where I don't want it. And we're going to take this off. And I'm going to take off the plate. And you always want to make sure you don't store it with the plate on because it can, with the magnets there, it's not as bad, but it can crack if it gets pressed on. So I always store them off of the hinges. All right, so for the last pieces, I don't need the Stamparatus. I'm just going to add some centers to the flowers, and I'm going to come in with soft suede, and then I'm just going to go right in the centers here to add a little more detail. And then right here. There's that. And then we're going to come in with the sentiment, and it just says birthdays are the best days. And this sentiment is in the Beautiful Friendship stamp set. So this is just all one stamp set we used, and no big shot, no punches. And then we're just going to layer this. Excuse my head if it gets in the shot. You could have left this on the Stamparatus if you wanted to, but I found that these inks are deep enough the way they are that I didn't need to go in twice, so I didn't need to use that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to layer this onto a piece of Rococo Rose, and this is cut at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So we'll just adhere that together. Go. And then our base piece is a piece of soft suede, and this is cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I did score it at 4 1/4. And then we're just going to adhere this piece to the soft suede. And that's all there is to it. So here's the card we made, and here is our original. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you, and all of my links will be listed down below. Thanks so much.